Hey everyone, welcome to Whispers of Turkish Stars. All the juicy details are right here today, so make sure you hit subscribe and share before we dive in. Thank you for being with us. Barış Baktas, one of the most buzzed about names of the moment, turns social media upside down with a birthday gesture that no one saw coming. According to the whispers making rounds behind the scenes, the handsome actor whisked his co-star Yağmur off to Paris to celebrate a birthday in a setting straight out of a dream. The pair, whose undeniable on-screen harmony has earned them legions of admirers, have insisted for months that they are nothing more than very good friends. Yet this surprising escape to the City of Lights set off new speculation almost immediately. Could this be a turning point, or simply a carefully timed getaway? Eyewitnesses say Barış and Yağmur were seen wandering through Paris, letting the city's romantic glow wrap around them as they laughed and took in the glittering Eiffel Tower's light show. Insiders claim that Barış had arranged a quiet birthday dinner at an elegant restaurant along the Seine, where candlelight reflected in the windows like a scene only Paris could paint. As they stepped out, smiling the kind of smile that can't be rehearsed, comment sections erupted. "You can feel the romance from here," wrote one fan, while another pleaded, "Just announce it already." Messages stacked up by the second, each more breathless than the last. If there was a plan to keep every detail private, it almost worked. Friends close to the pair tried to soften the rumors, murmuring that both of them simply needed to unplug from their exhausting schedules and take a brief breath. But a birthday dinner in the world's capital of love is hardly a small rumor to tame. The story traveled as quickly as the Paris metro, finding its way back to Turkey by morning. Fans felt the distance between Istanbul and Paris shrink into nothing as they tried to place themselves in the dim lights of that riverside restaurant. The whispers didn't end there. Sources claimed Barış had another surprise tucked away, a gift chosen from one of Paris's most exclusive boutiques. No one could confirm if it was a striking ring or a necklace with a story behind it, but the consensus was clear: whatever it was, it carried weight and meaning. Gossip columns brightened their headlines, noting how a gift can say what words refuse to. A symbolic gesture? A sign of intention? The speculation grew richer by the hour. More silence-breaking moments followed. The two were reportedly seen in Montmartre at sunset, sitting shoulder to shoulder, watching the city blur into gold and violet. They spoke quietly, sometimes smiling as if sharing a joke only they knew, sometimes leaving sentences hanging as if the pause itself held answers. Not long after, fan snapshots taken from a respectful distance found their way to social media. A few photos, in which they looked relaxed, unguarded, and entirely present with each other, were enough to set off the spark that became a blaze. Could such closeness exist between just friends, people asked, or were they witnessing the very first chapter of something bigger? Then came the twist that confused everyone even more. Alongside reports that the trip was a celebration for Yağmur's birthday, there were claims that Barış had organized the getaway around his own special day, turning a birthday into an excuse to make someone else smile. "He spent his big day making her happy," read one widely shared comment, and that says everything. Throughout the day, Yağmur was reportedly at his side, a detail fans treated like proof that their bond had deepened beyond what either of them had dared to admit publicly. The fact that they managed to slip away in the middle of packed filming schedules only added to the feeling that this was not a casual detour. Of course, neither Barış nor Yağmur has been keen to feed romance talk. They have kept the line tight and polite whenever asked, almost as if they've agreed to let the noise pass over them like a short rain. Yet this Paris interlude tested the patience of even their most restrained admirers. A portion of the fandom made it clear they no longer buy the just friends narrative, while others counseled patience, trusting that whatever truth exists will reveal itself at the right time. Now, as their return to Turkey became a countdown, one question floated above the rest: would they be seen together again on familiar ground, or would what happened in Paris remain a secret shared only with the Seine? As the night deepened over the city, Paris shifted into fairytale mode. Those same insiders insist the two spent long hours talking on their hotel terrace, bundled against the winter air, watching the Eiffel Tower sparkle on the hour like their own private clock. There was a cake quietly brought out, softly lit, and when Barış closed his eyes to blow out the candles, Yağmur was right there with him. It was low-key, almost hushed, but somehow more intimate for that very reason. Their eyes seemed to carry words they couldn't or wouldn't say out loud. In that hush, something unnamed hovered. Morning returned the city to its buzz. Reportedly, they left the hotel early, walking side by side through narrow streets, sometimes brushing hands, sometimes keeping the kind of comfortable silence that says more than a conversation. A fan who claimed to have seen them at a cafe said they shared a couple of double espressos and a small plate of pastries, and that the way they looked at each other made it feel like the room had fallen away. Others noted the way they finished each other's sentences, meeting in laughter as if the timing had been rehearsed. More whispers ventured that if this is only friendship, it's a friendship that carries a different light. By then, the online divide had become obvious. One group framed the trip as a prelude to love, a prologue that everyone would soon be able to read. Another group insisted it was simply a celebration between two professionals who genuinely enjoy each other's company. But if there was one thing both sides agreed on, it was that the harmony between Barış and Yağmur is impossible to deny. Back home, people started tracking arrivals and departures, wondering if they would touch down together or step out of different doors. Every new rumor that floated in from Paris was devoured, every fresh snapshot picked apart like a puzzle. As the hours trickled away toward their flight back, another rumor surfaced. On the last day of the trip, Barış allegedly took a quiet moment to tell Yağmur how much the days had meant to him. The sincerity of that conversation was something people kept pointing to, as if they could feel its warmth even secondhand. After that, the two reportedly shared a lone look, the kind that seems to pull time into a single heartbeat. Despite the chill, they wore the softest smiles. That same afternoon they were spotted on one of Paris's famous fashion avenues, ducking in and out of boutiques, trying on coats and scarves. At one point, Barış walked out wearing pieces that Yağmur had picked, simple, thoughtful, perfectly him, causing a ripple of excitement among those who recognized them. A few fans, excited but discreet, followed at a distance. Their photos captured candid moments of the pair leaning close to read a menu, adjusting each other's scarves, and laughing with a kind of ease that doesn't fake well. Back at the hotel, a receptionist who saw them more than once reportedly described them as effortlessly compatible, adding in a hush that they teased each other in the elevator like two people who had learned the rhythm of the other's breath. Every small sighting fed the same conclusion. If their connection isn't defined yet, it is at the very least gathering strength quietly, day by day. And there was still the mystery of the gift. Some claimed it was a delicate necklace with a letter hidden in its design, others swore by a ring with a vintage story. The truth remained tucked out of sight, but the idea of a meaningful token only fueled the conversation. Was it a promise, or a reminder? A step forward, or a beautiful memory to hold? Whatever it was, the possibility alone hinted at intentions that both of them have kept wrapped in careful silence. The night before departure, the buzz in the hotel lobby suggested they returned late, cheeks flushed from the cold, carrying shopping bags and a small box that drew too many curious eyes. They lingered by the elevators as if neither wanted to be the first to say goodnight. A few moments quiet, a shared smile, and then they disappeared behind chrome doors that glided shut before anyone could catch another word. Upstairs, the lights in their rooms came on, then went out again, leaving only the reflection of Paris to dye the windows gold. By morning, people were already gathered at the airport in Turkey, half bracing for disappointment, half certain that fate would give them a glimpse. Would the two emerge together? Would they distance themselves so the rumors would cool, or step into the camera's view side by side and let the noise burst like a firework? The uncertainty only made everything more electric. Some fans held flowers, others held their breath. Meanwhile, online detectives cross-checked flight numbers and gate assignments, convinced the story still had one more twist waiting. Whether or not the answers arrive quickly, one thing seems clear: Paris will not fade for either of them. The river, the winding streets of Montmartre, the hush of that hotel terrace, the shared coffee cups and the warm scarves, all of it has settled somewhere between them. Perhaps they will tuck these moments away, saving them for a day when talking feels easy. Perhaps they will keep walking forward as they are, leaving the rest to imagination. What cannot be denied is the feeling that something shifted. Call it friendship. Call it timing. Call it an emotion that hasn't yet found its name. But for everyone watching, this trip to Paris has added a fresh, glittering chapter to the story of two stars whose personal paths keep intertwining. Whether the next scene happens in front of a camera or far from one, fans will be there, listening not just for words, but for the quiet signals between them that speak just as loudly. And that brings us to the end of today's video from Whispers of Turkish Stars. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to subscribe and share. Until next time, we'll be here keeping an eye on every little clue, every smile, and every unspoken moment between Barış Baktas and Yağmur Yüksel.